Hello and welcome. Today's account is one of our very many accounts from the Peak District, and it's the Howler of Barlow Woods, 1989. It was around 1989 when this happened to me. I was 17 at the time. I was just killing time and I went into the wood for a look, as it's all pine trees, and I was just curious. I was just wandering around and everything was normal. I could hear the birds. Just a good day up to that point. I was about 100 yards in from the road, and then everything went quiet. Silence. Not even the birds. Everything stopped. There was nobody around at all, just me. The wood was so quiet, I just stood there looking round, and then I heard the strangest sound. A loud whooping noise and knocking sounds from all around. Then everything went silent again. Just like that, complete quiet, no birds, no car, no noises, no animal sounds, just complete silence. I didn't see who or what made the noise, but I could tell I was being watched. I could feel it. I'm looking around everywhere, but I can't see anybody at all. The woods are thick and the trees are large, and I couldn't make out anybody or anything around me. It was really confusing. I headed down towards a small stream and got down to look, and I saw nothing. I just lay there. I lay there for ages. And then I did some knocks back. And the whoops started again, but they were much louder this time. I was so spooked. I looked back into the thick woodland and my eyes saw lots of shapes in the sunlight, but nothing I could pinpoint, nothing that I could make out clearly. Then bump, bump, crack, bang, off in the distance. I was so scared I couldn't take it anymore, and I was off. I went back to my bike as fast as I could, and all the way out I could feel like I was being followed, as if pursued by something. I was scared. I kept turning around, but I couldn't see anything, and then the quiet came again. As I left the woods, I could hear all the natural noises returning. The birds and the stream noises, the cars from the road, and it was over. I have never returned to that wood, but I have passed close by on many times. Now the wood itself, as I said, is in the Peak District, and what's very interesting, although this is an audio account, and we don't really have anything in the UK that would whoop or bang on a tree. Seems very strange, but within a very short walk, we also have another account that talks of knocks and whoops in a place called Linacre Wood. Just a little bit more of a walk south brings you to wood knocks at night, and that was last year, in November 2016. So in a very short walk, over a 30-year period, we have 3 accounts, all audio accounts, of whooping and knocking in the wood. Now, there are many theories why we hear the wood knocking, and I have my own, and so does everybody else. I know it's popular to go into the wood and knock on trees and make whooping noises, and there's lots of TV stars that do it and lots of other people that do it. But personally, my own opinion is it's a people alarm. They make that noise when they see you coming. So for you to do the knock, you are basically, in my eyes, announcing your presence. I think it's much better to just don't go in stealth. Don't try and make no noise. Just let them hear you coming. Don't try and surprise anybody. To me, by doing that knock, it's as if you're trying to trick them into something. And I don't think that would get you any further in your research. Now, it does work for some people. There are lots of people who say that they knock and they hear knocks back, and that's fantastic, but it just doesn't work for me. I don't understand the knocking theory, because it would mean that you would always have to have a stick handy. You would always have to have the perfect tree to make the noise. I think it's probably something else, and we are misidentifying it. But it'll be much further down the road before we work that one out. As for the whoops, many of the noises we get, shrieks and growls, you can think, well, that could be a muntjac, that could be deer, that could be a stag, that could be a badger. Even the loud bangs could be a beaver, and we do have them in the UK. I know you don't think that we do, but we do. Even those noises, but we don't have anything that whoops. Now, I don't even think we have a bird that whoops, but I could be wrong, and I'm sure somebody will tell me if I am, and that would be really useful information to have, because we like to know where we're going wrong, because that means we don't have to put any more effort into that area of research, and we can concentrate on other things. So if you know of something that makes a loud whooping noise that sounds like a monkey that we have in the UK, let us know, because that would be really handy information to have. Or if you're out and you hear something similar, if you could just, nobody's going to have the phone ready on the record, are they? But if you could just make a note of where you are and the surroundings and get in touch with me, I'd be able to have a look on the map then, you see, and see if there's anything else being reported in that area, and that could help me out greatly. As for howls, I know that dogs howl, but I think the howls that people mention are the ones that stand out. We've all heard a dog howling. We've all heard strange sound, but you know that it's an animal and it's out of the woods. I think when people report these noises, it's because they are so different. And there are very, very many accounts of this in the Peak District. There are 2 other accounts just to the west in Goyt Forest of whoops and howls again. Same thing again, Goyt Forest again, whoops and howls again. And it just seems to, from the 1970s up to 2016, we have something that's out there in the Peak District that's whooping and howling. But we've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 UK Bigfoot accounts. And I would plot them as Bigfoot accounts if they mentioned that they were hairy, on 2 feet, looked human, were an ape, gorilla, monkey. If they don't give me that description, I plot them as a creature, because I don't know what to plot them as. And there are also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creature reports in the Peak District. Now, I don't think we can put all of those accounts down to tourists not recognising their surroundings, because a lot of them are from people who live in the areas, who leisure in the areas, and are quite shocked by what they see or they hear. And that's why we also report what we class as a Class B account. Not everybody has a sighting. Some people have a feeling of being followed, like this gentleman, or watched. Now, interestingly enough, this gentleman himself has become a Bigfoot researcher, and his name's Graham Herbert, and you can find him on Facebook. His group is called Bigfoot UK. The search will go on. Now, Graham's happy to have researchers worldwide join the group. He just wants an understanding of what other people are finding worldwide, and that's quite uncommon in the UK groups, because even my group, I like to keep it just for the UK so that we're not mixing up evidence. But I think Graham's group is a good way of people sharing what they're finding, what they're seeing worldwide, rather than just on our very small island. So pop along and have a look. And like I say, if you're out and you notice anything, feel free to get in touch with me. You can find me here on YouTube, or you'll find me on Facebook in the British Bigfoot Research Group. If I'm not there, Charmaine will be there, Catherine Chadwick will be there, Adam Bird, Stuart Hall, Guy Marshall. There's a lot of us. We're all in there. Just pop along, say hello, and one of us will help you, I'm sure. And just have a chat to the witnesses and have a look in the files, have a look at the evidence that we're finding, and decide for yourself, really. And until next time, thank you very much for joining me. Goodbye.